Hello everyone, Rockwood here, and today I am going to do more work with this bamboo farm. Not a lot of work, I'm just going to tear it down and add a few more layers to the more efficient design over there now that I've acquired a few more slime blocks. However, that is not the only thing I have planned for this episode. Additionally, I'm going to try my hand at building something that is not a farm and put together a stylish villager trading hall at this sand dune that I've staked out over here. I think it's high time that we get those villagers into a more permanent place and build up a more robust trading hall where I can make full use of the other goodies that villagers sell. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into some super fast building and super fast deconstruction. And when we come back, hopefully we'll have a fully fledged trading hall ready to get some villagers into it. And we're back. As you can see, where we had a stretch of sand, we now have well, I'm not sure if I'd call this a pyramid, but we have a large sandstone structure which is going to form the foundation of our trading hall. You can see that it stretches quite a bit around here. I hope to one day detail this a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, but the plan is to at least add some texture, maybe some statues or some other sandstone builds around here to kind of liven up the place. Because as it stands right now, this is almost blends into the landscape. I'm not totally happy with that, but I think it's a good start. But what I can say is the inside, and I got husks at my door, has had quite a lot of work done on it. This is just my initial setup to get villagers in here. But, as you can see, I've got a pretty well-stocked trading hall. I've got farmers, toolsmiths, armorsmiths, stonemasons, cartographers down here, and then a whole line of weaponsmiths. I also have the beginnings of my librarians hanging out in this little hole over here, and also the zombies I'm going to use to cure them over here in this hole. I've got the rest of this space to turn into a library where I'm hoping to get most of the enchanted books for trade, as well as a bunch of clerics so that I can satisfy my redstone needs. I think I'm going to cut away and get all that finished. And once that's all in place, we'll come back and round out the episode. So I'll see you guys when that's all done. And we're back. As you can see, there was a lot of work done here. I got all the librarians in order. I got the clerics built up here. And I even started curing the villagers. I haven't finished that yet because I ran out of gold. Let's be real, I ran out of gold. The golden apples are very, very expensive without a gold farm. So I've got them all organized, got them all ready. And when I was putting in the zombies kind of had their way with all the villagers. So my entire trading hall was zombified, and I've been very slowly unzombifying it bit by painstaking bit. Alright, so let's show you what I've been actually doing in all this time. I've been, first off, building up the trading hall itself. I went with polished basalt, then spruce planks supported by anvils with black stone bars over top and lanterns. The reason I like lanterns so much is their hitbox actually prevents the villager from walking out. So these villagers on these trapdoors don't actually need these walls, they're trapped by the lantern itself. And I like that because it provides a very open and free look to the villagers, rather than having them boxed in behind their workstation with only their face showing. And I want to try and give them as much space as possible. All the workstations for this section are hidden under these trapdoors, because villagers, it turns out, can actually claim a workstation through a trapdoor or through carpet. Do not think they can do it through a slab, although if they claim it, then they can still access it through a slab. I'm not entirely sure on the mechanics, but I didn't want to mess around with it because these things are kind of finicky, so I just stuck with the trapdoors, which work out pretty good. As you can see, they are hiding the cleric's brew stands quite well, and all the other workstations that are hidden in behind there. Now, the next thing that I needed to do was make sure that I had a renewable way to zombify these things in case anyone else on the server wanted to use this trading hall. Zombifying them once myself is great, but if I wanted to zombify them a number of times to get their deals down, like as you can see, dropping some of these deals down far enough to actually make them useful, takes a little bit of work. But sometimes you gotta cure them and rezombify them and cure them and rezombify them a few times, because thankfully in Java it stacks to a certain point and it is permanent, so it is definitely worth doing, but it is player specific. So if one of my buddies came in here and said, hey, I want to come use your trading hall, and I'm like, yeah, sure, and they're like, why are the prices so unreasonably expensive? And I'm like, well, because you gotta cure them. And with other trading hall designs, that would be a problem, but with this hall setup, it is a flick of a lever, and you can just bring the zombie right up here. Now, I used a number of different designs working through this. This center column was the first design I used, and that brings a zombie to them. There's actually a space you can kind of see in there, the workstation. There's a zombie that runs around underneath there. I will go crack that open and show you what that looks like from underneath. We'll come down in here, a lot of pumpkins, non-stick blocks, and you can see clearly that there's a zombie that walks around there, and if I bring him up, then he will start attacking the villagers from behind. And I have already done that a little bit, so if I flick this lever, you can hear the pistons extend, and the zombie will pop up, and if I can find him through here, zombie, 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 where are you? Come show the nice viewers that you are able to attack these villagers. There you go, there he's going for it. He's got himself a wall, and he is attacking them, and I'm going to drop him down because I don't want him to attack my villagers, because I don't have a lot of gold, and the more of these guys I have to cure, the worse it is for me because I need more gold and I don't have a gold farm. So yeah, that's the first design. The second designs that I've been using here are kind of a cage that bring up the entire back area. So you can see that the entire back area comes up, and then the zombie just walks around in there. He's got a little 3x3 space, and then the trapdoor there prevents him from being able to actually get out and attack player or escape his little confine. And then I can just put the lever and bring him back down, and then that's the same design for the entire area along here. Let me just take a quick jump behind the scenes here to show you what that actually looks like in terms of redstone. You can see that it's a honey slime block cage that supports all the aesthetic blocks that keep the zombie in place. And those get brought up and down based with just this redstone line here that's connected to the lever. And that just tiles all the way around the outside of the build. It's probably the most involved and complex one, and the reason I did it that way is because I think it looks good. I am really not a fan of the more simple designs, like the one over here, where this is just infinitely easier than the other two. It was just a flick of a lever and they pop down. And you can see there's just a line of sticky pistons with a single block, and the zombie walks around there, and one flick of the lever, and it comes back up, and bingo, bango, presto, done. But then I can't hide the workstation, and I don't think it looks as good, so I tried to do a little bit of a mix of everything. I wanted to make sure that anyone curing them was able to do it with minimal effort, whereas these other ones here are a bit more finicky, and sometimes the zombie doesn't attack because his AI gets stuck tracking the wrong target. And it's just a lot more work, so I went with the really simple one for the high-profile librarians. Clerics, the lucky buggers, don't actually get a zombie because they got nothing that I want to discount. They only have lapis and redstone, and neither of those things are really worth discounting. You could say, oh, well, they're gold, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but there are so many better things than you can do with gold. Like, since trading with piglins was added, it is way better to trade your gold with piglins than it is to trade it with clerics or emeralds, especially because you can, like, look at that. Why? Like, that one. Just look at it. Gaze upon the absolute perfection that is that trade, right? The only thing that's not perfect about it is you can only do it a limited number of times per villager. Because iron, like, I have the most basic 3-villager iron farm setup, and I have been swimming in iron this entire time, just working on my base. I have never wanted for iron this entire game with a single setup. The ability to turn that iron into emeralds, other than building a raid farm, I don't see why there needs to be any other thing I would trade with villagers. And that pretty much brings me to the end of it. You can see the design. I personally quite like it. I would like to hear what you think of this. If any of you want to leave a comment below, letting me know tips or tricks. I'm very new to building, so this is my first attempt at actually building a villager trading hall that has some, well, a unified block palette and isn't just cobblestone and workstations in a box. I still do need to fix this upper area here. You can see there is no life to it. There's no detailing. There's no patterns. Everything is just one static block type. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm probably going to think on that for a bit because I do need to get this gold into apples and those apples into these villagers so that I can move on to the next project, which is going to be a sorting system because, oh my goodness, this chest monster. This is not how you play professional Minecraft. This is not how you advance your Minecraft playing and spending all the time like rummaging through like 15 chests as they slowly grow. They brood in the background, gradually gaining more items until you can never remember where anything is. So yeah, I'm building a sorting system. That is the next goal. I've got the redstone, I've got the iron, I've got the tree farm, I've got everything I need. We are going to do this. Next episode, sorting system. Here we go. And with that, I think that pretty much draws this episode to a close. This has been Rockwood. If you liked it, leave a like. If you had anything to add, leave a comment. And on that note, I will see you all next time.